The Prime Minister has admitted his now infamous appearance on a podcast with Nicky Osborne was an error after controversies with a marry, date, shag game and a gesture about melons. Here's what he said.
If I had my time again, which you don't, then I wouldn't have done that podcast. You know, we have a view which is trying to talk to as many people as possible, but clearly that was an error.
Mark, should it have taken more than 6 weeks to have this admission come out of the PM?
Well, remember when this podcast first came out, Nat, the Prime Minister gave, I think the words were, a clear and unequivocal apology, literally within hours of it coming out. So I think what he did last night was remind people of that, and I think people want their Prime Minister or their premiers, their leaders, their business leaders to fess up when they think they got something wrong.
Mark,
and
I don't know whether he did. The first apology, wasn't that for the shag, marry, date Kylie Minogue comments?
Yep. Yes, after the podcast was first
but that wasn't for
released.
the melon comments.
Well, Mel, he gave a clear and unequivocal apology when the podcast came out and there was coverage of the podcast.
But did he apologise for the melon comments originally?
I think last night what he did was indicate that although he has tried to use all the forms of communication to speak to as many people as possible, he recognises he got that one wrong. And I think that's what Australians want from their leaders, whether they're political, business, football leaders, when they get things wrong, admit it. And he did.
Are you happy with his response about the melons, Mark?
Yes, I am, Nat. Sorry, I didn't quite hear that question.
Yeah. Are you happy with the Prime Minister's response about the melons and the fact that it seems to have gone on for 6 weeks?
Well, of course, we don't like these things going on for that time while we've got some really big, challenging issues before the Parliament, before the country. But I think what the Prime Minister did last night was what we expect of a leader.
Should he have done it earlier?
Well, he's done it. Nat,
but should he have done it earlier?
Well, we can all muse on those things. I think he made an apology when the podcast first came out. Last night, in the clearest possible terms, he said if he had his time again, he wouldn't do it.
OK, Jane, final word.
He's halfway there. He said he wouldn't do the podcast, but let's face it, he sounded like a grubby, leery old man, and he should apologise to the Japanese Prime Minister, the first female Japanese Prime Minister in history. He just needs to apologise to her. Why is this so hard, Mark? Why can't he just apologise for offending her? Even if he was misinterpreted, just apologise. It's not that hard.
OK, we'll leave it there.